Super Bowl prop bets. Marco's given his 3, and now I'm giving 3. And Marco, first up, I'm doing a pure math play. This one is going to be pretty simple. I'm saying, will there be 3 unanswered scores from one team? And the answer is yes. And you can probably lay about 175 in most places. Now, I got to tell you, this is more about how I came to this pick than it is the pick itself. This is simple. I was listening to Jay Cornegay, one of the most knowledgeable bookmakers in town, and he said, hey, we've done the math on this. The odds of this are, it should be about minus 200, minus 210. Okay, that's the simple math. We bring this baby down because we know the public thinks intuitively. 3 straight scores. These teams are, good teams. It's going to be a competitive game. I don't see 3 straight scores. And I got to be honest, when I first looked at this prop, I felt the same thing years ago. I mean, years ago. I said 3 straight scores. It's the Super Bowl. But they did the math. It's minus 210 or whatever. I'm laying 175. To me, it's that simple. Now, people out there listening might say, well, Jesus, RJ, you're supposed to be smart. What do you? Hey, this is how you get smart, is you listen to the smartest people, you learn from them, and you follow them. And, one day, I'll probably be preaching, hey, this is minus 210 in 3 years, and not even mention Jay Cornegay because I forgot where I learned it. But the fact is, I'm going to now know it now. So, to me, I think there's some things that make this maybe less appealing than 2 other teams other than Pittsburgh and Green Bay. But first, what's your thoughts on it?
Well, I mean, your initial knee-jerk reaction, and I got to agree, you don't think that...
And the idea that you say no and you're getting plus money back, at minus 175, you're getting plus 155 back?
It looks attractive because you think of Green Bay and Pittsburgh, you just think of a very competitive game. I mean, this is one of the more competitive games that we've had, Super Bowl-wise.
Which I came up with a stat that I put out there, is that it's been 28 straight years that the Super Bowl favorite has been 3 points or more. This is the first time in 28 years that it's been less than a field goal.
So, I don't have an opinion on this one. I will agree, like you, my initial knee-jerk reaction would be that there wouldn't be.
And here is another reason that I don't like this in this game as much as I would in other games, but I still like it because of the math. The Packers actually finished the year never having trailed by more than 7 points at any point. They're only the 4th team in history to do that. Last year, Pittsburgh, only one time, this is last year now, did they trail by more than 7. And this year, I think it's 2 or 3 times, counting the playoffs. But still, that's a lot less than most teams. These are 2 of the tighter teams inclined towards tighter games. So you're going to say tight game doesn't mean 3 straight scores. I agree. But here's the thing. What's a bookie's edge? When you bet, if you went up and flipped a coin on one of these, on the Super Bowl, let's say you didn't have an opinion, you flipped the coin, you go up, you're laying 110, right?
Yep.
So they've got, their juice or their edge is one, you could look at it 2 ways. It's 20 cents. The VIG is a total of 20. Your side of the VIG is 10 because it's 110 to win 100. Let's just call it 20. If it's supposed to be 210 and you're only laying 170, what's your edge? 40. Right? So to me, I feel like I at least have more, probably more, but at least the same edge a bookie has from a guy flipping a coin laying 210 or laying 170 when I'm supposed to be laying 210. So even if it's not so perfect this time, I still think there's value there, and it's a pure math play, and the lesson is follow the math, and the lesson is don't be shy about following guys that know things you don't know.
Can't argue with you there.
Now there's another one. Now this won't be one of my best bets, and this is one that it takes even more balls, is you can bet will there be a overtime. And actually the math on that is it should be minus 1,700. That only 6% of NFL games, and this is research I actually did, only 6% of NFL games end in overtime. So that should be about minus 1,700. You can get this laying lower, the 1,100's always out there. You can almost get this all the way towards minus 1,000. So you can lay 10 to 1 on something you should be laying 17 to 1 on. So to me, I make this play every year. The key is you got to make sure you're not playing so much that when it does happen, and it will 1 in 17 or 6% of the time, when it does happen, you can't go broke over it. So maybe you make it where you're winning, you're winning a third of a unit or something, and you're betting 3 units to win a third of a unit.
When you talk about such a overwhelming bet, I can't help from the horse racing field. They used to call them bridge jumpers when they would come in and bet $100,000 on a stone cold favorite that just overlays the field, and they bet them to show, but that 1 out of every 20 times that something goes wrong in a race and that doesn't happen and they lose that big bet, that's why they call them bridge jumpers.
Makes sense, makes sense. All right, so we've got my bet. That's my first best bet, and then I got two more coming up, and we'll be right back.